Beowulf. It is written in the Anglo-Saxon language by an anonymous English person around the year 700. And it is set in the southern part of Sweden and Denmark. And it has some Norse myth elements with a warrior culture and fate, but also Christian elements. And it is about a Viking hero, and his name is Beowulf, and he is helping other people to fight three monsters, Grendel, Grendel's mother, and a dragon. To fight Grendel's mother, he descends down, for example, in a murky lake. And then one day, he is fatally wounded. Just his courageous nephew Wiglaf stays with him. The other warriors chosen by him desert him. The epic poem ends then with his funeral in a huge burial mound. And the only remaining copy made of an original was made in the year 1000, and it is in the British Museum in London. And some people thought that story makes it good in a movie, and so they made a movie, gave the title The 13th Night, and it is starring Antonio Banderas. And that is according to Meitzkel's World History book on pages 242 and 243. But the positions and views expressed are the ones of the source and don't necessarily align with my own or with the ones of the entity spoken of. Heinrich, I'm trying to learn literature today. Beowulf, and after we've done what we're going to do, leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training, then it's very honest. Beowulf. This is written is the epic poem. The epic poem Beowulf was written in the Anglo-Saxon language by an unknown English person around 700. Okay, someone who is not known wrote it. He was living in England and he was speaking or writing in the Anglo-Saxon language. And the legend focuses on the adventures of a Viking hero, Beowulf. The action takes place in the south of Sweden and Denmark. So there's Europe. There's Europe, and then there's Norway, Sweden, Finland, and there's no Sweden, and there's Denmark, north of Germany. Okay, now this legend of Beowulf, which someone has written in the year around 700, is about a Viking, and his name is Beowulf, and the adventures and actions he is doing are happening in the south of Sweden and in Denmark. Christianity was introduced to England around 600. The poem blends traditional elements of Norse myth, such as warrior culture and fate, with belief in a Christian God. Okay, we're saying it has influence of Norse myth or mythology and of Christianity. It has influence of Norse myth with a culture around Beowulf as a warrior and the fate of him, whatever that means, and also ideas of Christianity with the belief in a Christian God. But we try to express it a little bit differently. I don't know if Beowulf becomes in the book a Christian. Beowulf risks his own life to help other people by battling three terrifying monsters. Grendel, Grendel's mother, and the dragon. So Beowulf, the Viking hero, he, in the epic poem book, is fighting against three monsters who seem to harass other people, and doing so he is risking his own life. And these three monsters are Grendel and Grendel's mother and a dragon. The monster Grendel is said to be the mark of Cain. This is a reference to the Bible story in which Adam's son Cain killed his brother Abel. And is it not said in the epic poem? Because it's there written down. It would be strange if people would read the book where it's not mentioned and people would say that. So I assume it is written in the book that he has the mark of Cain. Or that at least people believing in the book that the monster Grendel has the mark of Cain, which is a reference to the story in the Bible where the children of Adam, and I think of Eve also, of Adam, fighting wherein Cain is killing Abel. Beowulf is fatally wounded when all his chosen warriors desert him through fear, except for his courageous nephew Wiglaf. So the other people who are with him are fleeing, and only one stays with him, his nephew Wiglaf. But he is wounded to the extent that he will die. At the end of a poem, the dead Beowulf is... So sorry, a spoiler alert, whatever. At the end of a poem, the dead Beowulf is laid to rest in a huge burial mound. A similarly impressive burial mound dating around 650 was discovered at Sutton Hoo in Suffolk in 1939. So, and the poem ends with Beowulf gets a big funeral, or is laid to rest in a huge burial mound. And such a huge burial mound was found in the year 1939 in Suffolk at Sutton Hoo. The oldest manuscript where an Anglo-Saxon king was buried in a similar resting place as it is described of Beowulf in the poem Beowulf. The oldest manuscript of Beowulf that exists today was made from an original by monks in about 1000. The oldest manuscript of Beowulf that exists today was made from an original by monks in about 1000. So in the year 1000 there was one or multiple monks, and they had an original of the manuscript of Beowulf and made now a copy of it, and that copy made of an original is the oldest one which is still existing of Beowulf. Many of older copies were destroyed when King Henry VIII ordered the monasteries and the libraries to be closed down in the late 1530s. And he has now said that now the English King Henry VIII ordered the monasteries to be closed, and that had the extinguishing of the books following of it. The only remaining copy is kept in a controlled environment behind glass in the British Museum, London in England. And what is this copy? So this copy, which was made in the year 1000, is in the British Museum in London in England, behind a glass. The modern-day film, The 13th Night, starring Antonio Banderas, is based on the Beowulf legend. And some people made the film, and some things in this film are inspired by the epic poem Beowulf, written by an unknown person in the year 700 or something. And it is starring Antonio Banderas, and it is called The 13th Night. Beowulf has to descend the depths of a murky lake to fight the monster Grendel's ferocious mother. Okay, he is diving down to defeat the mother of Grendel. Does she have a name? Okay, to defeat Grendel's ferocious mother. Okay, that was the literature part. If you were here for literature, you can go directly to the next part of literature, where we're gonna go over these things written there once more, and then try to make a little presentation based on the things said on that page there about Beowulf. If you stay here and participate in the leg injury prevention training, have a good standing leg and bring the other leg in front and to the side. And the other leg, front and side. And one foot in front and back. And the other foot, front and back. And again, now one leg up and bring it to the side. Breathe in. Leg into the middle and down. The other leg up to the side. Breathe in. Into the middle and down. And one leg up, hands out, over cross with both. Middle, over cross with both. Middle, down. Other leg up and over cross. Middle and over cross. Middle and down. And one leg to the side, lift it off the ground, place it again onto the ground. Other side, foot onto the ground, off the ground, and again on the ground. One hand on tummy, one on lower back, and lift one leg in a straight line up. Try to bring the leg higher and pull the toes in. and pull the leg up. And on the other side, one leg up, try to pull the toes in and the leg higher. Pull the leg up. Have one leg up and press up and to the side. And with the other leg, press up and to the side. And stand good on one leg, turn over to the leg, down to the knee, over to the other side, and up. Other leg stand good, turn over to the leg, down to the knee, over to the other side. Have a good standing leg and reach always with the heel of the other leg to imaginary 90-minute intervals on an imaginary dial of the clock. And the same with the other foot. 12 o'clock, 1:30 and 3, 10:30 and 9 o'clock, 7:30 and 6, 4:30 and 3 o'clock. And have a good standing leg, one foot up and down. The same with the other one. And the legs are standing a bit apart, in the arms up. And breathe out and sink down. Hands onto the ground. Come with the back up. Roll slowly with the shoulder back up and get to the top of the backwards. Shoulder down. Arms up. And out, sink down. Hands onto the ground. Come with the back up and roll slowly with the front back up. At the top of backwards. Shoulder down. And have a good standing leg. One leg into the ear. Lean in front, the leg up and back down again. And another time. And now pull the knee in and out. And now the same with the other leg. Leg up and lean in front. And again down. And pull the knee in. And back into the middle. Legs to the sides, breathing down. And breathe out. Again, in and down. Out and down. In and close the legs. And again out. That was the leg injury prevention training. I thank you very much and next time.